The good war movie drought has gone on for far too long. Blink if you're sick of it. Now blink again if you're ready for a kick war drama. Well, if you're a sucker for action and excitement, then you've just gotta hang in there until November 23rd, because that's when Devotion comes out. You know what? We don't see enough people talking about this movie, and we're here to fix that. First up, let's talk about the trailer. So, the trailer came out almost a month ago, and we're glad to see that it's gotten a lot of views. But again, the hype it deserves is kind of missing. Chances are that the first time you watched the trailer mindlessly, you didn't make much of it. This is because, at first glance, it looks like just another helicopter, action, explosion kind of trailer. But this changes quickly once you learn the true depth of the real story it's based on. Sure, on the surface it looks kind of generic to be honest, but it's really the undertones that matter here. And don't worry, we'll break them down in a minute. But first things first, did you notice how bad those planes were? What if we told you they're the real ones? They're 8-decade-old planes, the kind that were used in the Korean War, which is the setting of the movie by the way. So when you're watching the movie, keep in mind that those F-4U Corsairs are a piece of history put to action. Oh, and the acting was, no doubt, mind-blowing. If Jonathan Majors can give us goosebumps in that little trailer, just imagine the intensity the movie will have. And of course, we have Glen Powell, who we know is great in aviation action because of this year's Top Gun Maverick. Alright, we've been vague for too long. It's time to get caught up on some background. Here's when and where the movie happens. Let's travel back to 1950. It's the Korean War. Yes, you probably haven't heard of it as much as the Vietnam or the Iraq War, which is why they called it America's Forgotten War in the trailer. In this war, the US stood by South Korea while the Soviet Union and China sided with the North. Devotion is an adaptation of a book of the same name, and this book tells the story of two friends and wingmen, Thomas Hudner, played by Glen Powell, and Jesse Brown, played by Jonathan Majors, both US naval aviators. Hudner was a rich, privileged white young man, while Brown was a black man and had made a rough journey to get to his position. In fact, he was the first ever black naval aviator. If you're a history junkie, you probably knew about this because it's a well-known heroic tale among people who care for lost bits of history. So let's see what this true story is. Listen, you can't complain about spoilers on this one, alright? It's literally a true story. It happened not all that long ago, and most of the audience waiting for it to come out know exactly what's coming at them. The book has been out for 8 years and the events have been out for 7 decades. In fact, it's this very reason that doesn't make you mad that the trailer is giving so much of the film away. Knowing some background of the real thing, at least, believe us, will make the trailer experience so much better. So, in December 1950, when both of them were part of a team of patrol pilots at the Chosin Reservoir, whose job was to rescue the Corps stuck in the hostile cold below, fighting against the Chinese. One day, while on patrol, Brown's plane got hit by a small firearm from the Chinese, and his plane started losing fuel. Sadly, his aircraft was set on fire. Now, when this happens, both the pilot and his craft are considered lost. But not here. Hudner was determined as ever to get his dear friend out of that fire. He tried with radio signals, but that didn't work. Now, against all the rules, Hudner decided he needed to get down there to save his buddy. For this, he crash-landed his plane and injured himself. This didn't stop him still, and he worked there for a very long time to free Brown from the wreck. Oh god, you know what? We won't tell you what happened next. If you don't already know, you should keep it that way until it's in theaters. It'll be worth it. And some real action is about to hit ya. What makes a flawless action movie? When the actors really get their hands dirty. That's probably why Tom Cruise's films stand out so much. Because he does make you think, just CGI that stuff, dude. Why are you choke-slamming the helicopter? But when you watch it, the difference is clear. The creators of this film didn't really have a Top Gun kind of budget, but they wanted the action to be real. And luckily, Jonathan Majors was game. No, he was more than game. Majors has a lot of family members who've served in the army, so the inner soldier wasn't too difficult for him to tune into. But shooting all those complicated sequences in the old airplanes high up in the air, you can imagine it wasn't so easy. Jonathan went all in like. He wouldn't calm down and rest even when he was, as he put it, sick as a dog. He refused to take any Dramamine either, to really get into character. We respect that man, we really do. And the good thing is you can really see this in the trailer. All the air scenes we got to see were very real. So yeah, get ready folks. guys. The action here is coming to steal your wigs right off. When it comes to Glen Powell, one online fan summed it up nicely when he posted this: "If I had a nickel for every 2022 airplane movie starring Glen Powell as one of the pilots, I'd have 2 nickels." Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. We saw this man rock it in Top Gun, we can be sure as hell he'll do the same in this one. But keep those tissues ready. Yes, this is an emotional action film. Just one good listen to the dialogues in the trailer gives that away. Sure, the premise might be war, but there are romantic and racial undertones there. And of course, friendship is the real theme, so you should expect there to not be a dry eye in the room. See, Jesse Brown had a very moving love story. He married his wife secretly because he wasn't allowed to while training, and his wife Daisy is an important part of the story for both Brown and Hudner. Don't say we didn't warn you about some seriously heartwarming romance. And of course, you can imagine the atmosphere in the 50s and the hardships and discrimination Jesse must have faced becoming the first black naval pilot. There are a few moments in the trailer that give us a sneak peek into it. 2 of these moments are subtle while one is very powerful. And from what we can tell so far, the director and the actors have done a great job bringing this aspect of his life to screen. It's emotional and it's done tastefully. At this point, you can imagine why the friendship between these 2 pilots from such different backgrounds was so legendary, so historical, and so very moving. Whoa, it'll make you cry just thinking about it. Just imagine the waterworks at the theaters. Also, the release will be bittersweet. Okay, hear us out on this. Historical films, especially those inspired by real events, are always emotional, and they carry this weight, right? With this one, it isn't even that old of a story. It's just that if the real Tom Hudner, Daisy, and Jesse Brown were alive to see their incredible lives being celebrated by so many people, it would be so awesome. But sadly, they've all passed away. The good thing though is that people who knew them and loved them are still here, and they're happier than ever that this little-known story of friendship and courage is being brought to the screens. In fact, people online are sharing the stories of their interactions with these heroes. You love to see it. Lastly, what can we expect at the box office? Hopefully by November, there will be enough hype about this film. But in any case, we think this is going to be a big hit. Like, come on, Devotion follows the perfect recipe for a box office success. And to make things better, it got inspired by a true story as the cherry on top. But most importantly, it's coming out at the right time. This year we saw Top Gun Maverick bring the craze for aviation films and leave people wanting more. So yeah, this film will be exactly what the audiences want to see. So we can definitely expect it to do some huge numbers. So now go back and watch that trailer once more. Only this time you'll get guaranteed goosebumps. That's a wrap for this video. Are you excited to watch Devotion in theaters? And how successful do you think it will be at the box office? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.